for people who are watching in. This is Tom Rossau. I hope I'm pronouncing your last name correctly.
Oh, it is. You are.
Okay, cool. So Tom is a lighting designer in Denmark. He's joining us here. It's 8 a.m., snowing outside in Denmark, and 6 p.m. here in Melbourne. So just wanted to say thank you so much for joining so early. But all right, let's get into it. So how did you first get into lighting design, and what sparked your interest in it?
Well, it was actually a bit like a bit of a, what do you call it, an incident. It was just, I kind of stumbled upon it. It's I opened up my first shop in 1997, and I needed a few lights, so I made a few lights. That's pretty much my approach to a lot of things in this world. I need it, and then I go and make it. Yeah, and then I did the furniture for that shop as well, and then basically I was making clothes at the time.
Wow, so you really dabbled in a lot of different things.
Yeah, and a few different things, and then there was something about that the whole thing about furniture and lighting, and I started moving away from clothes and into interiors more, and then just playing around with various materials. And when I'm not an educated designer, so I play my way into design. I sort of investigate materials, I play with materials, and then I build prototypes one-to-one. Obviously I sketch, I draw, but I really love what happens when I'm just working with the designs and the prototypes, and it's sort of it develops. I'm usually only 10-20% into the first prototype. Then you can skip that one and move on to the next one, implement everything that I implement everything I learned into that one, and then it becomes something else again, and it's very inspiring process.
Yeah, amazing. Well, I was actually going to ask, because we've noticed that you like to use wood veneer in your design. So can you tell us what inspired you to work with this material, and what makes it so unique as well?
Well, again, I stumbled on that a bit. Basically, I found out all the wonders of wood veneers just by playing with it. I was making a lamp in like 20 strips of plastic put together, and then it could change shape by turning it and twisting it. And I wanted to do that in wood, so I found this wood veneer, this thin wood veneer, and then I put it together. I held it together for some 5 seconds. I let go, and then it just exploded, and that was an epiphany, because it sort of portrays how much strength and flexibility and possibility there actually is in the wood veneers. And then, so basically, I had this idea that exploded in my hands, and then I took the 200 strips I had laying on the desk and turned it into something else. That was the TR4. That was the first ones, and then over just a few months, I created the TR5, TR6, TR7, and we have the TR5 and TR7 still running now, almost 20 years later. Some are our bestsellers. And it's an amazing material. It's because it's lightweight, it's translucent, it's flexible and still stiff. You can build airplanes out of the stuff. It's amazing.
Wow, that is incredible.
Yeah.
So yes, your designs have a very natural and organic look to them. How does environment and nature influence your creativity?
Well, as I just described,
Yeah.
it is the very nature of, I would say it's sort of the origin of my design approach.
Mm.
Sometimes I describe myself more as a midwife, and then just helping the material become what it's sort of, what, I don't know the right phrase, but it's sort of embedded in the material to behave in a certain way.
Mm.
So and by that rationale, nature, the organic feel is sort of inherent in the material itself from the get-go. And then obviously of the past 20-25 years where I've been working with lighting design, sustainability, the environment, everything that surrounds that it's become more and more eminent that we have to like change our ways in order to take care of the planet. So we're in a process here where we're removing materials from the lights that are not what's the English word, regenerable, that doesn't grow back
Re,
easy.
yeah. I was gonna say like do you, like reusable or
Not just reusable, but basically to regenerate it. Basically, and
yeah.
instead of we're trying to we're trying to take out, for instance, metal parts and replacing them with wood parts, because at least we can grow the wood back. And once it's taken down in nature, I mean, we work with sustainable forestry, and so that's sort of very much, and we've taken out all plastic out of the packaging. So we're doing what we can, and a lot of people, they look at the products in wood that we do, and they go, well, it's wood, so henceforth it's sustainable, and obviously there's more to it than that. But we try hard.
Yeah, I think it's so important. It's like it's a really important way forward for lots of businesses and brands. So yeah, that's amazing. Love that. So when creating a new lighting fixture, how do you balance the look and the function? So what are some important factors that you consider?
Yeah, honestly, it's I start off with the shape, the shape of it. I don't start with the function. Obviously, it's a light.
Yes.
There's a fair chance it's going to end up with a light bulb in there somehow.
Yes.
So it's, but I start off with the feel, the initial idea. There's always something about it. There's something that inspired that specific shape, whether it's the material or it's a specific function. If we wanted to be able to change shape, if we wanted to be able to be easily elevated in the room, if it's a suspension light. So but usually I describe what I do, what we do here at the company, as creating light emitting sculptures. I start off with this sculptural feeling. That's it. It's the feel, it's the ambience, it's the organic look, and then you can turn it on and read the paper. Voila.
It's beautiful and it's functional. Love that. And so did you grow up with design in your life, or was it something that you discovered later on? And what role did your upbringing play in your decision to become a designer as well?
Well, I think I've been very, very fortunate. I've always had access to tools. like in my parents' house, and there is a vast basement with loads of tools and a workshop. And my mother is very creative. She was I mean, she's a painter, and she was painting ceramics back in the 60s. And my dad, he was a kind of do-it-yourself as well. So I've always had access, and I mean, always had a lot of Lego knocking about the place. So
did you ever?
It was just play, play. Yeah.
Did you ever join in, like, with your parents, with, like, you know, did you ever paint with your mom, or was it something that you just observed as a kid?
No, I think I'm more observed. She facilitated vast amount of paints and paper, and it was always there. Just not go ahead. And I had, honestly, I think I prefer to play with Lego or just climb trees, whatever. I think I was a kid, you know, doing stupid shit.
I think you can see that, like, that comes across in your work, though, for sure.
Yeah.
So out of all the designs that you've created, is there one that stands out to you the most, or one that's your absolute favorite, and why?
There isn't one. It's and again, I think I'm very lucky in that respect. There's quite a few. Obviously, the TR7. There's something magical about the TR7 because it's just listen. There's, what do you know? That's a strip of veneer knocking about the place. So basically, a strip of veneer, and then it just goes.
Wow.
It's just so simple. And to me, it was just like, then when I first did it, I still remember doing the first one, because I said, all right, let's see if I can repeat this shape, and there in that way, creating two spheres on top of each other, and then figuring out actually how to build it. And then it's going from that to that. It was just magical, and honestly, 20 years down the line, it still is. And I really love the TR41 that has some of the same aspects, but it's tighter, more what's the word? Cylindrical.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's the TR747. Now the 747, the actual 747, has gone out of production. They're no longer doing those. We are, however. It's basically a lamp that we've made out of airplanes, paper planes made in wood veneer. So we're folding paper planes in wood veneer. Henceforth, they would be wood planes, not paper planes. But we're folding those, and that's quite a task. And we figured out how to do it. And now we're doing a limited series with I don't know if you can see it here. It's probably two.
Oh wow.
That's just again, we're just playing. We're throwing paint at the lampshades. That's what we do here.
I could see the, like, speckles, the, like, sketches on it. That's really cool.
It's fun. It looks great. It's something unique.
Yeah. And maybe that's also a bit of your, inspiration from your mom's paint.
Yeah, absolutely.
Into your work. So there you go. But that actually also then leads me to my next question, which is about your design process. Like, from the idea to final design, like what's the process of that for you?
Well, as you can see, I'm growing bald, and that's just me pouring my hair out. It's trial and error.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, it's trial and error. I mean, we start off with the basics of an idea, the outline of an idea. How about this? Could this work? We're a team of 3 in our product development, so we kind of start off with whoever pitches in. How about this? And then we look at it. We try to do some rough mock-ups, have a look at that, change it, and as we're in this field of turning 2-dimensional materials into 3-dimensional shapes, we're pretty good at that. And we have the workshop right next door. It's so basically we try to build it in order for us to sort of see, is there something to this, and then we sort of develop it, and slowly, we have 90% of the rough outline down, and then we get into the details, and then we have an internal an internal focus group here in the company, where we basically just then we line them up. Then we maybe have 20-30 different ideas or variations over various ideas, and then we go like, so what do you think?
Yeah,
pitch in, and there is hardly ever any doubt of what actually where we managed to take the good idea and turning it into an appealing product, and where we failed to do so, where we have to go back and
right.
do it again.
And like in terms of time, like how long would that usually take, or is it different per piece, or like how long does it take between idea to final product? Is it like months?
Yeah, but sometimes it's years, other times it's months. If we're sort of developing on something that ties very neatly into a production setup we already have, then it's obviously faster. The more from scratch we have to, when we start from scratch, then that time frame is way longer. And then also it's just sometimes it's just like we're 95% there, but it doesn't have that right feeling. There's something missing, and then it kind of stays on the shelf until we figured it out, and then there's so many ideas, there's so many possibilities. It's more a question of ruling out what not to pursue rather than what we're actually deciding to show.
Yeah. And are there pieces that you have that you've worked on for a really long time and then decided like maybe this isn't working, or have you had that and parked it for a bit and then come back to it later and reworked that? Have you is that part of your process as well?
Oh, absolutely. It's another thing I inherited from my parents is the inability to throw anything out. It's just I have a basement here. It's just packed with my great ideas, and everybody working here, they're just, please get rid of it, Tom. It's never
move on.
yeah. But it happens all the time. Then we revisit. I mean, if we want to, maybe sometimes, I mean, just to do a special edition or a limited edition, then revisit and then see, okay, there was something to this idea. Let's see if we take this approach to it. If we do it as a limited edition, then it doesn't matter whether we can what it costs to build 100 of them. It's we don't have to get in the mind frame of building 10,000 every time.
Yeah.
We're basically trying to give ourselves the freedom to go like, okay, this is a good idea. Let's just do it. Let's keep it simple.
Yeah.
Very limited amounts, and let's try it. And usually in that, then obviously then we're solving some issues that might lead us to other solutions with that specific design as well as other designs.
Yeah. Right. That's cool. Well, it's good that you can like still revisit it and then, you know, not just leave it there forever and I guess regret not continuing working on it. But yeah. So who are some people who have inspired your work the most, and how they impacted your work and how you work as well?
Yeah, it's I would say that, I mean, I'm 52, so Philip Stark and Mark Newson was some of the designers that really stood out when I was young, and the organic universe and of Mark Newson just blew me away. At, you know, what's it, the long heat lounge chair, I believe it's called. It was just, I just understood it. It was just amazing. I don't think, I honestly think that it's more the material, it's more the wood itself that inspires ideas and designs today than it is from other sources.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if maybe you were inspired more by the materials rather than like somebody else's finished product.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. And I'm always hunting for new materials. I really like the approach where you find a material that's used in a completely different context and try to bring it into another. I try to bring it into lighting, and I mean the sandpaper lampshades that I sort of had envisioned I would do. I'm pretty happy I didn't do them this when I think back on it, but hey, somebody did, and I think they were happy about it.
Yeah. And how do you stay inspired and keep your ideas and designs like fresh and unique?
It's a good question, but it's also I would almost describe it as a closed loop, because I come to work. I live just down the street. I come to work, and this is to a large extent playtime. When we are developing, that's a breath of fresh air. Other than that, it's the daily work life is managing, and there are many tasks involved in this and running this small company. So basically developing, that is the sole reason that I'm into this. It's design and development. And so the minute there's a chance there to do something, to create something, that's what I want to do. And I've just not run out of ideas, and I think if I one day I run into a creator's block and just sit there staring at a blank piece of A3 and go like, what now? Then I can revisit the shelves that I described before. They're packed with ideas that are 90% there. So there's so much to do, and and then I guess we're going to furniture, or designs or whatever. it's there are so many things, there are so many possibilities. We're certainly not going to run out of ideas, and then I guess it's up to the world to judge whether there was actually a need for that specific product or not. But I would like to enhance or highlight the sustainable factor of it. We do not need any more plastic little bits. I mean, I have a 4-year-old daughter, and the amount of plastics that come into a kid's room and is played with 2 or 3 times, it's crazy. It's crazy to get it, and it's practically impossible to keep out. Even though that both me and my wife we're very, very orientated towards the sustainable factor, and but the bright red plastics make her happy.
I know. It's hard because people gift it all the time, but it's nice to see. I've seen because I also have a 3-year-old nephew, and it's nice to see more toys being made of like wooden materials and things like that. I've liked seeing that. At least I try to buy more of those kinds of toys and things for my nephew.
Yeah, for some reason it's easier with toddlers. I mean, they're appreciative of it, and then the wood Barbie hasn't really caught on yet, has it?
No, I don't think so. I don't know if that will ever really catch on. I feel like maybe when they're, like you said, when they're toddlers, they'll play with anything, but then when they get a bit older, plastic Barbie dolls all the way.
Yeah. I mean, sorry, I have to say, when I was young, all we needed was a stick and an old wheel.
Yeah, play outside.
And of course, tons of Lego made out of lovely plastics.
Yes. Oh, love Lego. Not a fan of stepping on Lego though.
No.
And now my final question is, what exciting projects are you working on, and what can we expect from you in the future?
More lights.
More lights. Amazing.
We got Oroluce in Milan coming up in April, so we're actually only a month out of showing about 5 new designs.
Oh wow! Oh, that's very exciting.
It is really exciting, and we're really looking forward to it. I mean, a little under a year ago, we did our first flat pack products. Usually we build everything, so everything is mounted here in Copenhagen, but we managed to do a flat pack product that worked really nicely, easy to put together, and still carries the feel of the company. It's still made of the birch veneer wood. So we've developed that universe further. So we're bringing out more flat packs. Table light, pendant, bigger version of what we already have, and then there's coming more of the. Then we're doing more of the into the standard mounted collection as well, and then we're making some really big lights between 2 and 3 meters.
Oh wow!
So, yeah. For the I guess maybe it's more for contract, but at least to do some really big ones. As I said, light emitting sculptures.
Yeah.
So that's it. I guess you're gonna have to come to Milan. Check it out.
Well, I guess I'm gonna have to come. I'll buy some flights tonight.
Absolutely.
Well, it has been a pleasure chatting with you. Thank you so much for answering all our questions. And really look forward to seeing your new designs coming out very, very soon. But yeah, thank you.
You're so welcome. It was an absolute pleasure.
Yeah. All right. I'm sure we'll chat again soon.
Awesome. Take care.
Thank you, you too.
Bye.
Bye.